Let me tell you a quiet truth about attraction that most men never really grasp. It is not about being the tallest man, the richest one, or the most good looking guy in the room. It has nothing to do with expensive cars or overused pickup lines that sound fake. The real secret lies in the words you choose during those first important moments. Right now, there are men having dull, forgettable conversations with attractive women, while other men are using just a few well chosen phrases that make women lean closer, laugh more openly, and think about them long after the conversation ends. So, what creates this difference? It is psychology. After guiding thousands of men and carefully observing hundreds of real life interactions, I uncovered three simple yet powerful phrases that naturally spark her curiosity, help you stand out instantly, and create attraction without effort. The best thing is that you can start using them today. You do not need special talent or training. One of these phrases works so well that women often message their friends about you right after hearing it. Another makes her listen closely to everything you say. And the third is my personal favorite for creating fast and natural chemistry. If you are ready to change how women respond to you in conversations, stay with me because I am about to share all three. Now, let us talk about the moment when everything shifts. That moment when a conversation moves from polite and casual to something exciting, when her eyes become brighter, her posture relaxes, and you can feel a real connection forming. This is not luck. It is not magic. It is attraction psychology working exactly as it should. I am John from Stoic Focus, and for over 10 years, I have studied thousands of real world interactions between men and women. What I discovered will completely change how you approach dating and conversations. Most men make one major mistake. They focus on what to say to impress women instead of focusing on how to make women feel. The truth is simple. Attraction is not about memorizing perfect lines. It is about understanding the mental triggers that naturally pull someone toward you. Today, I am going to show you three phrases that act like hidden keys. They bypass logic and connect directly with emotions. These are not pickup lines, they are not tricks. They are conversational shortcuts built on modern psychology research from top universities and real world testing with hundreds of clients, combined with timeless principles of confident communication. One of these phrases can make you significantly more memorable, according to research. Another creates what psychologists describe as instant emotional closeness. And the third can work in as little as half a minute. What makes this approach different from typical dating advice is simple. This is not about manipulation or games. It is about building real social skills that work anywhere, whether you are at work, out socially, or meeting someone new. By the end of this, you will understand exactly why these phrases work, when to use them, and how to adapt them so they fit your personality. No gimmicks, no empty talk, just practical tools you can use starting today. Let us start with the first phrase. This is the one that quietly sparks curiosity. There is something important about how conversations naturally flow. When you begin a thought but do not fully finish it, people instinctively become curious. This is not a trick. It is how the human mind works. We want closure. We want the rest of the story. Here is how to use this naturally in conversation. Wait for a moment when she shares something interesting about herself. Maybe she talks about a hobby, a memory, or an experience. Then you say something like, "You remind me of actually, never mind." Or there is something about you that no, it is not important. Or the way you said that makes me think, forget it, it is nothing. The key is to say it casually, like the thought just passed through your mind. Do not make it sound planned. Then smoothly continue the conversation. What happens next is powerful. Her mind will automatically wonder what you were about to say. She may ask you later or give you a curious look. This creates a natural back and forth. And when she does ask, you are ready with a real observation, not something shallow about her looks, but something about her personality. You might say, I was going to say, you have a very thoughtful way of explaining things, or you seem comfortable being yourself. There is a calm confidence in how you talk about your work. This works because it makes the conversation more interesting than basic small talk. It shows you are actually listening. It creates a smooth flow instead of forcing attraction, and it helps you stand out from men who try too hard. Remember, this is not about games. It is about having better conversations that feel natural and meaningful. Now let us move to the second phrase. This one is often misunderstood, yet it is extremely powerful. Most compliments fail for a simple reason. Attractive women hear the same words all the time. You are beautiful. You are hot. Nice dress. Over time, these words lose impact. By her mid-20s, most women have built emotional armor against generic praise. But there is a way to bypass that armor and make her feel genuinely seen. This is what I call the secret compliment. It is not about flattery, it is about observation. It works because it focuses on something deeper than appearance. It speaks to who she is, not just how she looks. Research shows that compliments about abilities and character create much stronger attraction than looks-based praise. Traits connected to personality are remembered far longer. Unique observations activate emotional reward centers in the brain. So, how do you give this type of compliment? First, wait for the right moment. It should come after she shares something real. Second, be specific. Do not say you are smart. Say the way you explained that shows real understanding. Third, be honest. Only say what you genuinely notice. Some examples that work well are, most people would miss this, but you have a natural ability to make people feel comfortable, or you have a rare mix of confidence and warmth. Or the way you think about things is interesting. When you said that earlier, it showed a unique perspective. How you deliver it matters just as much. Pause briefly before you say it so it feels thoughtful. Keep relaxed eye contact, not intense staring. Then continue the conversation naturally. Do not wait for her reaction or approval. Inside her mind, several things happen. First is surprise. She did not expect that. Then validation. Someone actually sees her, and finally, attraction. She feels drawn to someone who understands her. There is also an advanced version of this where you link behavior to character. For example, when you included someone else in the conversation earlier, it showed real social awareness. Most people are too focused on themselves to notice things like that. There are also signs you are doing it wrong. If she only says thanks and changes the topic, it may be too generic. If she seems uncomfortable, it might be too personal too fast. If she questions whether you mean it, it was not specific enough. There is also a deeper philosophy behind this approach. Ancient thinkers believed in looking beneath the surface. When you notice and express deeper qualities, you show awareness, presence, and emotional intelligence. These traits have always been associated with high-value individuals. Now for the final phrase. This one is subtle but extremely powerful. It is based on a simple truth about attraction. The person asking all the questions controls the conversation, but the person who flips the questions controls the connection. This is not manipulation. It is understanding how engaging conversations work. When done correctly, this turns boring small talk into a dynamic exchange where she becomes invested. Many women experience constant interview style conversations. What do you do? Where are you from? What are your hobbies? It becomes predictable and tiring. The reverse question changes this dynamic by gently shifting the focus. It shows you are selective. It creates playful tension, and it makes the interaction more engaging. When she asks you something personal like, why are you single? What do you do for fun? Or what are you looking for? Instead of answering directly, you respond by turning it back in a light way. For example, that is a good question. What do you think? Or I am curious. What would your answer be? Or I will tell you, but first, what made you ask that? This creates intrigue without pressure. She begins to invest emotionally, and when you do answer, it feels earned rather than given away. When you combine these three phrases, something powerful happens. Conversations become smoother, attraction feels natural, and you no longer feel like you are trying to impress. You are simply expressing yourself with confidence and awareness. These are not tricks, they are tools for better communication. Use them with honesty and respect, and you will notice a clear change in how women respond to you, not just romantically, but socially as well. These words matter more than most men realize. When you respond with something like, why do you think I am? What is your guess? Something powerful happens under the surface. You could easily ask her the same question directly, but instead, you guide the moment in a smarter way. You already understand the psychology behind it. This is the curiosity hook. At that exact moment, her brain switches roles. She is no longer just answering a simple qualification question. Now she has to think about you. She has to pause, imagine, and form a story in her mind. While she is doing that, she often reveals far more about herself than she planned. Her guest tells you what she notices, what she values, and what stands out to her. The intrigue factor is what creates that delicious sense of mystery. You are not hiding anything. You are simply letting curiosity do the work for you. Let me give you a real-world example from one of my clients. He was having a relaxed conversation when she suddenly asked him, so why is a guy like you still single? Instead of rushing to explain himself or defend his situation, he smiled calmly and said, what's your theory? She smirked, tilted her head slightly, and said, maybe you're too picky. He did not laugh it off or rush past it. He stayed grounded and replied, interesting. What would make someone too picky in your eyes? And just like that, everything changed. Boom. The dynamic shifted. They were no longer stuck in a boring interview style exchange. They were now in a real conversation, a conversation with curiosity, emotion, and connection flowing naturally between them. This is where advanced tactics come into play. One of them is the eyebrow raise. It is subtle, but it matters. When you say, I think I already know, raise one eyebrow slightly and pause. Silence is not your enemy here. Pause and let the moment breathe. Then glance briefly at her lips just for a second and bring your eyes back to hers. This is not creepy. It is calm, grounded presence. Then comes the slow smile. Do not rush it. Let your smile slowly form as she answers. This builds natural tension without you forcing anything. Your body language is saying, I'm relaxed, I'm curious, and I'm not in a hurry. After she finishes her answer, you use the bait and switch. You say something like close, but the real reason is actually more interesting. This keeps her leaning in emotionally. Her brain wants resolution, and now she is invested. The key is that you must actually have a good answer ready. That answer should be honest, grounded, and confident. Mystery works best when it is supported by truth. There are some common mistakes you must avoid with this technique. Do not use it for basic factual questions. If she asks, where do you live? and you respond with mystery, it feels strange and evasive. This method is for personal or emotional questions, not logistics. Another mistake is overusing it. If you flip every single question back to her, you will seem slippery or fake. Use it selectively. Let it feel natural. And most importantly, do not use this unless you are ready with a solid answer when she pushes you for clarity. Mystery without substance falls apart quickly. The Stoic wisdom behind this goes back to Epictetus, who taught that it is not what happens to you, but how you respond that truly matters. This technique is a modern expression of that idea. You are not reacting on impulse. You are choosing how to respond with intention. You are shaping the interaction instead of letting it shape you. You are not trying to impress. You are expressing calm self-trust. So here is your mission. The next time a woman asks you a personal question, resist the automatic urge to give a predictable answer. Do not rush. Flip it back playfully and calmly. Watch how her energy changes. Watch how she becomes more engaged, more curious, and more present. Notice how the conversation feels lighter and more alive when you stop trying to prove yourself and start allowing intrigue to grow naturally. Gentlemen, what you have just learned is not just a set of conversation tricks. It is a complete shift in how attraction works. These phrases work because they come from calm confidence, not neediness. They do not come from fear or desperation. They are not about manipulation or control. They are about expressing your best self in a way that naturally draws people closer. When you are relaxed in yourself, others feel it. But here is the hard truth. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. It feels good in the moment, but it changes nothing. So here is your real mission for this week. Choose just one of these techniques. Just one. Whether it is the unfinished thought, the subtle secret compliment, or the reverse question, take it into the real world and use it once. Pay close attention to how differently women respond when you stop chasing approval and start creating curiosity. I want to hear what happens. Drop a comment below. Tell me which phrase hit you the hardest. Tell me where you plan to test it first. What was your biggest realization or aha moment from this video? I read every comment, and I personally respond to the most thoughtful ones. And for the men who are ready to go deeper, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Next week, we are breaking down the two connected eye trick that makes her chase you. This is a powerful technique used by charismatic men throughout history, and most people have no idea they are even doing it. Remember, this is not about collecting lines or playing games. It is about becoming the kind of man who naturally attracts meaningful connections through confidence, awareness, and authenticity. This is about growth, not gimmicks. I am John from Stoic Focus. Walk in truth, gentlemen, and I will see you in the next one.